Good day, I'm Shayna Taylor.
I'm Riley Knox.
I'm Asia Dawson.
I'm Ernest Collins.
I'm Alvin King, and this is We Speak.
I would have to say, I agree with that. I have to say, knowledge is power. So the more you know, the more you grow, the more that you can retain and become that great person that you're meant to be. Because everybody was here by design. We all have our own genetic makeup. And the more you know, you can put that into perspective of your life plan.
Say, for example, we're on a date.
Right.
And I get up and go, and you Google me, you come back, you have all this stuff. You really haven't given me a shot yet. I think that there should be a time when you can Google somebody. There should be a certain amount of time when you're dating before you can even do that. Maybe hours, maybe a first or second date.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to We Speak. That was a clip of an episode taped earlier this season called The Personality Test. As you can see, it clearly didn't include all of us due to a few scheduling conflicts. We got a few comments from some of the people here at DCTV, particularly about the statements made by our own Mr. Ernest Collins. So our producer has decided to bring those same topics to the regular cast of characters to get their take on these questions. So tonight's show is all about personality. Now, I think I can probably guess how Miss Riley Knox might answer this question, but here goes. Do you like the person that you have become, or are you still a work in progress? But this is open to everybody.
Don't look at me like
and you know,
he knows how to answer. So here's how this is going to go. You're all going to answer, and then I'm going to go last. How about that?
How about that? Take over.
I like it. So I think it's a combination of both. I absolutely love who I am today. I always crack up when I think about myself, well, my younger self, but not so much younger because I'm still so young. But when I think about myself a couple of years ago, and I think back to, I'm like, wow, she was such a bee. She was such a bee. But oh, Auntie, this is.
I can't imagine, you're so sweet.
Thank you.
Really?
Which is why I like this version of myself. I was such a bee, but I didn't know it. I was like, what's wrong with everybody else? You remember? You were there.
I'm trying to not relive it.
You weren't bubbly and sweet like you are now? She wasn't?
Now hold on.
She was an edge.
Now, when you say you were a bee, define that for us a little bit.
Well, I'll give you a perfect example. We used to play cards. We'd have people over play cards, and I was telling people, I have a friend named Shayna. She's going to come out and play, but you have to understand now, she's beautiful, but don't come at her the wrong way. Don't come at her the wrong way because she's, we play cards, and it was like, don't bring her over again. Don't ever bring her over again. I mean, she has a personality that's really.
We love Shayna.
The thing I love about Shayna
I
is.
can't imagine sending her home.
It was that time where you don't know you've been cut until you walk out of the room and you just start falling apart. That's the type of person she was.
So I love who I've become, but I'm still a work in progress because I find myself at the right moment. Because I got to keep a little bit of that Inglewood in me every now and then. It's got to come out because people it's all good. Because people will mess with you.
Yeah.
And it's just like my defense mechanism.
Right.
But I'm still a work in progress. But I love how the progress is going.
Well, I like to say that. Well, I do like who I am, but I also look at myself as constantly reinventing who I am, and that comes out in many different ways. And sometimes I feel like I'm reinventing myself by sitting on this set with some of you because all of you are so dynamic. So it makes me have to pick up my game and be better than I was, let's say, the last show. But overall, I do like who I am and where I'm going, but I am a work in progress.
I think I know I'm definitely a work in progress. And I look back to where I was 5 years ago, and just 5 years ago, I was a very strong personality, and I rubbed people the wrong way. And I can kind of relate to what you were saying. And it wasn't intentional. It was just like, I'm just a very strong personality. And I felt that
why can't you take it? I'm not being rude and nasty or malicious. I'm just having a conversation with you. So toughen up. But as I've gotten older and wiser, I'm still strong, but I say less. So my strength.
This year, like now, like you said 5 years ago, because I still see you.
This is dialed back.
Okay.
This is a dialed back
This is dialed
version.
back.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a
it.
dialed back version. And I know that I speak less than I used to because I know when I'm learning, put it this way, when to say something and when not to say something.
Yeah.
Something doesn't always require a statement from me.
Right.
And I've learned that. I also believe I'm a gentler version of who I am because I wasn't always gentle. I felt I was and I wanted to be, but I do a lot of self-reflection every day. And I say, when I interact with that person or these people, how did I come across? How was I interpreted? And that means something to me because how the message is received is very important, not just how it's given. And it's a two-way street. And I'm a lot more confident. I need to improve on that, but I'm more confident than I was too. I love me. And I didn't love me all the time.
That's
but I
it.
do love
That's
me.
it. That's it. That's how you get that one. That's right.
Not much has changed since the last time we talked. A little has. I wouldn't change much about me, like I said before. I have learned to dissect things and think before I start talking. That's recent. I've learned as I've gotten older within the last however many months it is. I think even more so. So when I say I think before I speak, I think even more so now. I actually reason with what I'm going to say before. Sometimes I'm thinking like, whoa, where did that come from? But I find myself around a crowd that I can't be like, no, they don't watch this, with this panel. But I have to be a little more on the caring, learning, mentoring side. So I do have to watch what I say now more so than I did. I can say whatever around.
So that came with age, do you say? Do you think that has come with age?
Experience, age, wisdom, whatever you want to call it. Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so finally, I'm
Miss
gonna ask a question.
Lovely,
So
lovely.
clearly,
Welcome to the panel.
yeah.
Can't wait.
You're so funny. You know what's really funny is I've lived like 2 lives, but I am 100% different than I was 11 years ago when I made my transition. For most people that don't know, I'm transgender. But it's really it's funny to me because, you know, when you're like evaluating yourself in your 20s or when you're trying to figure out who you are and all those things, I feel like I went through that so much earlier. I am nothing like I was on the inside or outside when I was younger. And it's really crazy because a lot of things I blocked because it was so the old life. And so there's a lot of things that if I think about it, I have to like talk to my sisters and validate that actually happened because I feel like I'm looking back on somebody else's life sometimes. But I think that whole self-evaluation that I went through when I was like 16 years old or even younger than that, it really helped being in my 20s because in your 20s, you know, you think you should have all the answers and you think you should know everything and you think you're supposed to and nobody ever tells you you're not supposed to. But I feel like I went through that a lot earlier, and it's so strange though. God, I could talk about this for forever, but looking back on who I used to be, I mean, I'm grateful for all the experiences and the lessons and all that stuff, but I feel like sometimes I even feel old. God, it's weird to say that. I feel old because I feel like I've lived 2 lives.
Two lives.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like I've lived 2 lives, and you know,
That's a
I
good
am
title for a
nothing.
book. That's a good
I'm
title
nothing
for a
like
book.
I was.
I've
lived
That's
2
a good
lives.
title for a book.
I have lived.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it right here on We Speak.
Two
I
lives,
ain't
one
giving none of
girl.
y'all credit
Okay,
for it.
but-
But
you heard it right here.
I like that. I
Two
like
lives, one
that.
girl.
Well, is there anything that you all could say was your biggest regret in life? And maybe biggest is too big. That's too big. But I would say a pretty important regret.
My pretty important regret is my brother was 1 year older than me, passed away a long time ago, 12, 13, so many years ago. Oftentimes we say things like, I wish I would have said I loved you. I wish I would have gave you a hug. I wish I would have said whatever. I can't say that because I did do those things. But the little things like going to the movies. I remember the one thing, he wanted to go to the movies, and I remember my brother was really like over the top dramatic, and he's like, oh my God, Shawshank Redemption's coming out, let's go see it. And I'm thinking like, you've got to be kidding me, you know. I didn't even know anything about it. As time has gone, I think about how small that is, you know. That's something so minute. If I could just turn the hands of time back, I'd just go to the movies with my brother, and that would just pretty much be it. Other than that, yeah, that's probably my major thing. The one last go to the movies. I don't have to say I love you because I've said that enough for all those other things, but just that one little wish that he wanted that didn't cost much or doesn't cost anything.
Well, you know, when I saw the list of questions that Tony, our producer, gave to me, and I saw that question, I thought, whew, wait a minute. I've regretted quite a few things, but I think if I had to say one of the biggest things that I regret is that my brother, coincidentally, committed suicide. And when I was, 15 years ago, and the way he did it, he came around to he went to see all my brothers and my sister and my father before he did it. And he sort of dropped hints. And one of the hints that he dropped was, let me have your black coat. I had this trench coat that he wanted. And I thought, okay, you can have it. I had friends over that day. But in my mind, I was thinking, why do you want that black coat? And I never asked him, why did he want that black coat? And the next morning, I got the call that he had committed suicide.
Wow.
And so that is my, you know, I've had to live with that. I've had to get counseling for that, just to deal with, why didn't you ask him that question? And that's my biggest regret in life, not asking him, why do you want that black coat?
You know, I try to live my life without regrets, because I think everything is meant to happen the way that it happens. Everybody is right where they're supposed to be in life. You're exactly where you're supposed to be, whether you think so or not, whether it's in a bad place or a good place. But I feel like if I had any regrets, it would probably be not doing some things sooner. Like, you know, not living my life authentically sooner. Because if I had realized I'd been this happy, I probably would have done it a lot earlier than, you know, 11 years ago. Or things that I did back when I was younger, like the things we all do when we're still trying to self-evaluate, like asking people who we are instead of showing people who we are, you know? Or, you know, letting people define who we are, whether it be relationships or friendships, letting those things define who we are as a person. Those kind of things, if I could go back, you know, I would think to myself, I would probably say to myself, you know, don't worry about what other people think. Because the thing is now I'm so unapologetically blunt, and sometimes some people think to a fault. I don't apologize for it. That's just the way I am. But I feel like if I had been like that, I feel like, you know, with everyone, if you knew what you know now in your 20s, you could have damn near taken over the world.
Taken over the world.
You know,
That's right.
we could have ruled the world with the knowledge we
Right.
have now.
That's
So maybe if I had done some things sooner, but you know, everything's a lesson. So pretty much live life without regrets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
So that question's a scary question to me. When you first said it, I was like, I don't like this kind of questions. I don't. For a couple reasons. But I will say this, and as everyone was talking, it's okay to say this. So I made a lot of bad decisions in my life. And it all stemmed from me not loving myself and or living out of fear. So I guess my biggest regret would be not loving who I am and then making poor decisions based upon me not loving myself and making decisions based off of fear. And because, you know, you have to live with your consequences of your actions and the decisions that you make. And some of those decisions that I made out of fear and or not loving myself, I still have to live with that.
Right.
But at the same time, because of who I am today, I don't dislike myself, because if I say, hey, this is who you are Asia Dawson, this person who you are now is based upon the decisions that you made, good, right, or indifferent, wrong, right, or ugly. This is who you are, and you're a lovely person because of it. So don't necessarily regret it and ruminate on it and say, I would have been in a better place, or I would have been this person if I didn't make this decision. because you are who you are. And like you said, Riley, things happen for a reason. I am a big proponent of that. Everything happens for a reason. And you are who you are today in 2016 because of the decision that you made last week,
Right.
last month,
Right.
last year.
Right.
And so this is who your purpose to be in every fashion, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you have to, in order to, what do you call it? It's almost like you couldn't, well, that old saying, you couldn't be who you are if you didn't have the experiences that you
Exactly.
had. So,
Exactly.
How about you,
I feel
Shane?
so shallow now because all, I feel so.
I regret not buying that bag I saw in the window at Barney's yesterday. Like,
Here it comes, here it comes.
So now thanks for saying it, Riley, because I can't say it.
I love Shayna. I love her.
be who you are.
Yes.
My biggest regret is that I didn't have this brain with that body. So it's just like the body that I had in my 20s. My biggest regret was that I wasn't smart enough to get smart enough back then when I had the two together. So kind of like you said, Riley, it's like, had I had this brain with that body, I could have taken over the world.
Yeah.
But then, they say God will never give you more than you can handle.
That's right, that's right.
And you
I'd have
couldn't
been
handle
killed.
it.
You been-
I
Killed
agree with you.
dead
I said
in
the
the
same thing.
street.
If I knew
I
what I
killed
knew
dead
right
in the
now,
street.
and I
Yeah,
took
I
it
said
back,
the same thing.
Yeah.
Imagine how much
Honestly,
time you
yes.
could have saved.
oh
I
my
would've
God, a beast. I'd
back
be
to
taken the
dangerous.
world over,
I'd
yes.
be extremely
Yes.
dangerous.
It's so funny when Riley was talking, all I kept thinking, I'm looking at you, and I'm thinking about you performing. And I'm thinking, there is no way in Jack,
Check that.
that you could have, your level of performance right now is just incredible.
Thank you.
And so I can't imagine what you would be like if you were performing like that 10 years ago.
Oh my God. You
can't-
guys, I have pictures.
I
I've
can't
been performing
even- I
15
can't-
years.
I
I
I've
want
got
to see 15 years ago.
I have pictures of 15 years. I have pictures of the first day that I walked out on stage. Now, I will tell you this.
Oh, I
The
hope
look-
our producer finds it. Oh, I hope he finds it.
He's not going to post that
Okay,
on,
I hope
on,
he
on
finds
the show.
it.
You guys
Okay,
are not going to
okay,
get a
okay.
clip of that or anything.
Oh.
I will show you guys one day. But the look,
It was the same.
horrible.
Wasn't put
it?
together. Wasn't put together.
Oh my God.
God,
It's
awful.
This is an
embarrassingly
evolution,
horrible.
okay.
However, the performance, I have a picture of me like really going for it because I realized while I was out on stage, you don't look like yourself. You can do whatever you want. You can just be and let go. And that was because I used to be really, really shy. Believe it or not, I used to be very shy. And that took me out of it. The picture that I have, it is so funny because you can see that everyone came out of the dressing room. All the other entertainers came out of the dressing room, and they're literally clutching their pearls. Literally in the picture, you see them clutching, going, like we didn't know she had it in her because I was so quiet. I was sitting in the dressing room. They thought I was a snob. There's like, here's this kid, like new hair. Like I was just kind of like, because I would watch them and I was intimidated and I was just kind of like, whatever. And I was fascinated also. And then I got on that stage and it was just like I became this different person. The performance level, although it was, great then, it was nowhere near what it is now.
I want to see the
Right.
outfit.
So if I
I
can
want
go
to see
back-
the outfit. I want to see the
Oh,
makeup.
honey,
I want to see the hair.
honey, the
That's
makeup,
all-
the
I
hair,
wanna
the
see
outfit,
all of it.
wrong, the shoes, wrong. Everything was
So you're
But-
not
but-
blaming it on style. You're just saying it was wrong.
It was
Oh,
all,
no,
it was all about your
Okay.
confidence at that point, which brings me to our next question. If you could go back in time and change one thing in history about yourself, what would you do differently?
invent the internet.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Silence. No.
Right. No.
I honestly think because I don't know, my life changed when I lost that 120 pounds. So if I could have lost that weight sooner, oh my goodness. If I could have developed that whole way of living sooner. And like you, I don't think God wanted me to do that. He wanted me to be a plump.
You had to
happy little
learn.
guy.
You wouldn't appreciate it if you
I
had.
I couldn't, but he made me work for it. I worked for it. But if I could have lost it sooner,
But you appreciate it more.
Yeah,
I
you appreciate it
oh,
much
I
more
do.
now.
That's the
I
lesson.
do.
We
I
appreciate
do.
the things we have to work hard.
I
Right.
do.
Yeah.
So I think I would have learned to do hair earlier because I know we talked about this before that my mom used to do my hair. and she always used to say she felt like she was a white woman with a black child, and she had no idea what to do with my hair. So I literally had a flat top in the 3rd grade. Like, this was before Kid and Play. This was like,
You were a little girl with
Grace
a flat
Jones.
top.
I was a little girl with a flat top, and they called me Porcupine. And in the 3rd grade, and my mom would just say, "But your face is so cute. Who cares what your hair looks like?" I do.
I'm in 3rd grade.
I do. I'm in the 3rd grade. I want to have the little ponytails like everyone else. Nobody in the 3rd grade cared about Grace Jones. They couldn't foresee into Kid and Play.
Right.
Like, I was the chick with the high top fade.
In the 3rd grade.
Before it was
in the
popular.
3rd grade.
In the 3rd. And yeah, this was 80s.
But see, I feel like, you know, maybe people really do change, because I feel like you with the flat top, you could rock a flat top.
You could rock.
Well,
yeah.
I rocked it. I'm
Right.
not-
Right.
I mean, like, you can make us,
Okay.
you can make us wish we had a flat top.
Right,
Right,
exactly.
right.
So there's like, what one was Shayna got?
But
You know,
again,
people.
I didn't have this. I wasn't
the
this.
confidence.
Right.
I wasn't this. I was just beating people up. Talking about the flat top because I had squabbles.
You had a bully haircut and a
and
bully
dared them to
attitude.
say anything about your flat top.
I think I may have been the original Dom. Like, I was walking around beating up people with a flat top. Getting it on the ground. I was getting it on the yard. Yeah.
So if you could turn back the hands of time,
I would have been
you would have been a
a
hairdresser
in the 2nd grade.
in the 2nd grade.
So not the time I got to the 3rd grade.
You're gonna have
When
the
I
flat
had
top.
flat top.
Mr. Collins.
If I could turn the hands of time back, I don't know if you guys know, but me and Shayna did a radio show together.
No.
And
You have a radio voice.
thank you. And
And a TV
I
face.
had a, I majored in communication. So
And a
the
magazine
thing is,
smile.
I so I
Self-esteem stage.
I was making money. I had a job where I was making good money, and my professor kept telling me about this internship, and I did not do it. I chose the money over the internship and the longevity of a possible potential career. Because oh my God, this one here.
We could have been like the best morning show.
The Shayna
ever.
Ever.
I would have to say
been Kelly and
You
Michael.
would've-
we did this one, but I would have taken it more serious. I would have put aside the money for a second, put it on hold, and further my career and bring this young lady in here with me, and we probably would have taken over.
But look at what happened. You're on set again.
Absolutely.
And you're
There
sitting
you
right
go.
next
Back
to
around.
her. See, God don't make mistakes.
All right now.
Mm-mm. And so
All
you
right.
look at
Better
where you
say
are.
that.
You're right.
Preacher.
You're absolutely
So-
correct.
And I'll get out this
Are
chair.
we talking
and
about
you can
50
come over
things?
here.
I'm talking about my regrets. We're talking
Going back
about
to change one thing.
This is catapulted. They'll look up next week. We'll be gone.
You don't
We'll be on a talk show. We'll be like, oh, we just set aside. We're catapulted.
See, so
We had a good time. We had a good time.
here you are. Asia.
I regret that for us, too. I regret that for us.
I regret that for you. I could see you too, honestly, as you have that whole steez about you,
We had a good
and you
time.
could have been.
She's
Kelly and
amazing.
Michael.
She's good at pulling. She's good. She's really good.
Well, we're going to take a commercial break and rest our vocal cords and drink some of this lovely tea that we have here.
This is delicious.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
we will be right back. Thank you for tuning in.
We've got a big problem, and we need your help.
It's called sexual assault, and it has to stop.
We have to stop it. So listen up.
If she doesn't consent, or if she can't consent,
It's a crime. It's wrong.
We need all of you to be part of the solution. This is about respect. It's about responsibility.
It's up to all of us to put an end to sexual assault. And that starts with you.
Because one is too many.
Sometimes all it takes to be a dad is remembering how to be a kid again. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's performance of We Speak. Our show tonight is all about personality. Here with me tonight, if you're just tuning in, we have Ernest, Shayna, Asia, and Riley, and we are on fire tonight. This next question I thought was very interesting. Are you who you think you are, or are you who you think everyone else thinks you are?
Okay, I have a theory about this, and I've always said this. Well, I've said it for a long time, not always. There are several people that live within you. There's who you are, excuse me, there's how you see yourself, how other people see you, how you want people to see you, and who you really are. And none of those are the same. People don't see you the way you see yourself. They also don't always see you for who you really are, because we always put up if we let the world see us for who we really are, and not everybody puts on a not everybody deserves that. Not everybody feels that is, wants the world to see all their insecurities and want everyone to see all the stuff that we keep private, But no one's ever going to see you the way you want them to see you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, no one's ever going to, people are going to see you how they see you. They're not going to get in your head and see what they, and what you want them to see.
Now, see,
it's all perception, basically.
I think that there is some truth to that. However, at this stage of my life, I'm pretty transparent. Now, there are things that I don't want you to see, but I'm pretty transparent right now, and versus how I was, I'm going to say, before I found Christ, because this is who Alvin King is. Now, as a Gemini, as all six of us can attest, I think a lot of, when people are quick to think they know who I am, a lot based on how I chose to appear. And I've gotten that all my life about, because I like to...
How you choose to appear.
How I choose to appear in the clothes that I have on.
How you want people to see you.
Well, sir,
that's one of the ones I named, how you want people to see you.
I want people to just see me.
How you see yourself is how you want people to see you.
It's really hard,
but they're not going to.
They're not going to, because there's Alvin King, and because of this show, there's Alvin King.
I know that's right.
And that's a problem. That can be a problem when you're trying to date. Because people just, if you don't step with confidence, or if you're not secure, you're not going to be able to stay in that zone and meet Alvin King. So that's the issue that I agree with you, but there's just some little loopholes that just.
I think people see me how I want to be seen. Don't you think I'm awesome? You think I'm awesome?
Yeah.
People see me how I want to be seen.
But that's because you give off how you project how you
but
want
I'm
to be
really
seen.
awesome. I know that.
No,
see?
No, I mean,
there's
and
an exception to that rule.
To the people who I don't want to think I'm awesome. No, I'm kidding.
I'm gonna say.
Like
but here's the thing: we all have insecurities, right?
Yes.
But we don't want the world to see all of our insecurities, right?
Right.
So there's the person that we project to the world in order that people do not see those insecurities.
But I think there's something sexy. I was talking to somebody earlier this morning about it. Is something sexy about a cute guy or a cute girl who's I always call it the Tyra Banks theory, because after she transitioned and she got older, she was so open with making fun of herself and talking out loud about her insecurities. And there's just something so sexy about it. And I'm sure it's comforting, because now you don't have to worry about other people noticing what you already don't want them to know.
Exactly. And putting it out there before they put it out
and just
their way.
And embracing it.
I feel like you take the power away from people using something that they would use against you when you say it first.
Right.
I think part of it is, I totally agree with you. I'm glad you said that, because everything you said I agree with. I think the problem that I run into is, we all run into, is that people try to put each other in a box. So because yesterday I behaved a certain way in a reaction of what you did, you expect me to do that the next time. You didn't factor in what factors made me react a certain way or behave a certain way. And so people try to put you in a box. And I always tell people all the time, I'm multifaceted. I am not one-dimensional. And you need to accept me as such, or you get your feelings hurt. Not on purpose, but just know that I'm different. I'm not moody, and that's when I don't like moody people. I'm not moody, it's just that I'm multifaceted, and you cannot put me in a box. When you think that you know me, you really don't.
Well, one shouldn't assume, just shouldn't assume, right?
But people, I think we as human beings try to predict everything. We always want to know, and it's like, you're not going to know. So you might want to just take that off your shoulders, and so you don't get your feelings hurt, and saying, I thought Shana was a certain way, and she didn't behave how I thought she should have acted. And then we get everybody up in arms, get your feelings hurt. I think we should just approach each other openly in this moment.
Right.
Live in the moment and appreciate each other in the moment, and don't expect Riley to act a certain way because of a little bit that I know about
like
you.
I could just I thought I could just hand you my butt to kiss on a platter, and I didn't expect you to punch me in the nose. Oh yeah, because you're always nice, because you're always smiling, Aisha. It's the dimple.
But
it's like you trick people, but then you punch somebody, and they're like. So I've always said, people. Oh, okay, so I'm hitting you, and I'm hitting you, and I'm hitting you. But then when you hit me back, it's like, oh, you hit too hard.
Right.
So people are. I find people constantly provoking me and provoking me. And I don't respond quickly. But when I respond, it's like, oh, you're so mean.
Shocking.
Like, oh, I mean, I was supposed to continue to sit here, so now I hit hard. Like, we were play fighting, but now I hit too hard. It's like.
Yeah, you know, we joke about the whole Gemini thing, but I think everybody has those different
I say that all
personalities
the
that
time.
live
I
within
agree.
you.
I agree.
It's not
Everybody
just
has
Geminis.
that.
Like everyone has
Everybody has that.
different
Right.
personalities that live within you, and different ones that come out at certain times. Whether you're in business or whether you're hanging out with your friends or with your family, there's different personalities. It doesn't mean that you're bipolar. It just means that you're just
do it better.
Yeah, you just
We just do it better.
Yeah, you guys are more.
We manage them.
I never really worry about perception or people's perception of where they receive me or perceive me. That never has really bothered me. I guess because I've had so many people around me all my life. I've been blessed to have 3 brothers and a sister, so it was always somebody there. I used to spend most of my time being by myself. So when I was younger, I would go into this little fantasy world of, you know, no one had to call me, and I was always in my own world. As I'm older now, I guess I've kind of taken that mentality with me. My appearance sets my mood and my tone. No matter where I go, I find myself putting on a pair of sweats and a t-shirt and walking through the store and just feeling like $1,000,000, not caring what people think, but looking around and seeing how people receive that. You know, so with that said, I don't think I really think about it. I just live it. I'm pretty, like I said, where I am, I'm pretty comfortable where I am right now.
I'm going to say one of the hardest places that I think that comes into play where as an individual we have to struggle with is when you have a bad boss. A boss who doesn't know how to manage people and has decided that they're going to, in their mind, treat you the way they think you are until you flip the script. And I know I can't say on camera, but I have a testimony about that. and you know, to that boss who may be looking at this, or that ex-boss who might be looking at this, you know, I hope you learned something from the experience that you've had with me, that you treated me a certain way for years, thinking that I was going to, that I was the type of person who would take that until I flipped the script on you, and you.
But don't you feel like on any job that like sometimes when you start a new job, the people that have already been working there for a while kind of test you to see how far you let them go, because they want to see what you're made of. They want to see how far we can go with her. So we're going to try to test her and give her all this work and do this and do that, and then you're like, I'm not like, and then they're like, oh, okay, so we can't. Yeah, people test you, but I feel like people do that in every situation.
Friendships, in every
relationship.
That's right.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. You just have to let people, you know who you are. You have to
let them go ahead and test the waters for a minute until you
snap on.
You snap
well,
on
you know,
them.
the funny thing is I've done that a lot with people that just think that I'm just going to be stupid. You know, you ever have that? You're like, because of the way you look, or the way that you, or what you do for a living. People think that you're going to be stupid, and I love it. I love it because I'm going to let you think that, and then right before you think you got me, I'm going to snap, switch on, smart Riley. I'm going to switch on the Riley, like oh, and you're like, oh, I didn't know you were.
And we can take that question, thanks to our fabulous producer and his questions. We can. That's another talk show. I don't know if y'all realize it or not, but that's really another talk show. Are you able to accept advice from almost anyone, or are you quick to first consider the source?
You know what? Just said it earlier.
I can take advice. Well, let's be clear. I can listen to anyone.
Right.
Because I like to talk. I like to listen. So I'll listen and entertain pretty much anyone. But I am going to consider the source, because I know if you have filed bankruptcy like 73 times, we cannot have a conversation where you start to tell me anything about finance. If I'm looking at you and you got like white rings around your eyes. We're not talking about makeup. Okay. Like there's certain things I cannot see your roots one color, and then it can't be like Florida Evans up here and Sade down here. That's why I want to do your hair, or some hair advice. Like it just, I'm gonna consider the source.
I hate unsolicited advice. You know, it's very rare that you'll hear me ask an opinion of like, do you think I should? It's very rare, and when I do, it's always to people who I know that they know what they're talking about. Like the last show, I said to you. The last time we taped together, we were downstairs and I had 2 shoes. I had a black one and I had a hot pink one. And I was wearing a black dress. And I said, do you think I should just go with a basic black, or should I do a pop of color? And I asked Shayna. Why did I ask Shayna for her opinion? Because Miss Shayna is always, that's a style icon. I would just ask somebody who is just, you know what I mean? Like you consider. Oh, well, no, I would ask him. I would ask anybody on this panel because we're, you know, there's certain things you have to, you have to consider the source when somebody gives you advice, and you think about I tell my sister this all the time. You know, you cannot take advice from someone about a relationship and they're telling you, well, girl, you need to do this and this is how you get a man. And how long have you been single?
Exactly.
When's the last time you did it?
Or do you have one? Right, exactly. Well, I don't like people. I'm sorry, not that I don't like people. I would prefer if I don't ask you for advice, don't give it to me, because if I need advice, I'm very clear. I mean, I'm gonna go to you and say, so what do you think? You know, I'm gonna want to know your opinion. But if I'm talking to Riley, and Tony comes up and wants to give me his advice, I'm gonna keep looking at Riley because, and I'm gonna hear Tony, I'm gonna hear him, but in my mind I'm going, but I didn't ask you.
But guess what? Let me tell you something about our producer, who's my best friend, and I'm looking at the camera wherever camera.
Oh, is that his name, Tony? Okay.
I'm gonna tell you, this is so funny, and I'm holding your hand right now because Tony knows this is my biggest pet peeve in life. I hate nosy people. One, and I can't stand if you and I are having a conversation and Shayna comes up and butts in. We were just talking about this Saturday night, and he will tell you, we were just talking about this. It is my #1 pet peeve. I cannot stand that. It drives me nuts. And I have been so quick to tell people, and I get a rap for being a bitch, for somebody saying, I'm not talking to you. I'll say it just like that. And I'm like, I'm a little laughing.
So how come they come up a little bit after and say, so I hear that blah, 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 blah. So you're done with the conversation. Like, so you're looking to buy a house? So you're looking to buy a house? Oh, so you got a new car. What kind of car?
I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't tell you that. Because I didn't tell you that. You just overheard that. No, I hate nosy people, and that is my biggest pet peeve. I can't believe you just said that.
Right.
Because he would never do that, by the way.
He would never do it. He would, but I don't think he would ever do it. But that type of person. Yeah. It really annoys me. It really does. Do you ever feel the need to dispel rumors about yourself?
So I guess maybe I'm the opposite, because I'll just feed into it. I'll just feed into it just because I feel like stupid people should get stupid information. So I've found that I feed into it. So like me having the flat top in the 3rd grade. So if the rumor had been that I was a lesbian, not like it's ever been, I would just be a lesbian. So it's always so if everybody thinks I'm a lesbian, next time I see you, I'm gonna hit you on the ass in front of people, and then I'm just gonna perpetuate it, and I'm gonna just
be like, and
like the biggest hyperbole of all. Like I'm just gonna really, can I kiss you in the mouth? Really? And wait till there is a million people around looking.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out of my way.
True story, I promise you. I went on a cruise in October, and someone who was, trying to date me before I went on the cruise, it didn't work out. So come October, I go on the cruise. I come back, just have a random conversation, and I was told, oh, I heard you didn't want to talk to me because you wanted to go on a cruise and be a sex addict. Right.
Wow.
And said to me, someone told me.
Someone told you.
And I thought about it for a minute, and I thought, am I going to really speak to that rumor?
Sounds like fun.
Or am I going to just let you live with it? I decided to let you live with it. Because in your mind, if that's what you think caused me to not talk to you.
It makes you feel better.
You feel better?
Right.
The flowers are yours. I'm not going. That happened. I thought.
And the worst part is, so I always tell people, so let's assume that your worst fear is true. So let's assume that I wanted to be not with you so that I could be a sex addict. I still don't want you.
Right.
Like, I'm a sex addict. I'm sexing everybody but you.
But you.
but
So.
Not you.
Why even? Yeah, that's true story.
But that's me being a bee. I'm sorry.
True story.
I think I know how you're going to answer this, but go ahead.
That's be interesting. My thing is, I really don't care what people say.
Exactly.
Right.
At the end of the
I
day.
really don't
At the end of the day.
what people. There's this one thing. I'm not gonna say who said it, but there's this one thing that saved my life, and it's something I take with me, and I'll take it to my grave. And I've squashed a lot of rumors at work around people, and this kind of makes people think that I'm on the other. What are they? Whatever you want to call me. That's all well and good, but my motto is, what other people have to say about me is none of my business. That shuts them down right there. So when somebody comes and say, hey,
I like that.
Ernest, blah, blah, blah.
I like that.
Well, hold on. Whatever they said, that's not my business. And if you're telling me, you need to move over to where they are. You know, if you want to know something, ask me. I'll give you the opportunity, and I'll make that decision on whether I'm going to tell you or not. But what other people say means absolutely nothing to
I
me.
like that.
I knew that was going to be your
I'm going to
answer.
use that.
I kind of figured you figured
When we
it
get
out.
downstairs, can you write that down for me, please? When we have a break? Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I keep it in my journal, man.
Okay. How about you, Ace?
I'm at the same place you are. I'm like, whatever. I have a life to live. I don't have
Come on,
time.
right.
I don't have time.
Yeah.
So if you want to think a certain way about me, and it could be completely false. Okay, well, whatever.
Good luck with that.
Because it doesn't affect me. It doesn't change who I am because you feel a certain way about me because I know who I am.
Right.
That I encourage everyone to know who you are because that nonsense could change someone. If you don't know who you are and there's rumors and you're not confident who you are and then you start feeling bad about yourself and you want to start defending yourself, I always say the truth does not need a defense. The truth is stand on its own. And I don't have time.
But to dispel truth or rumor, you just don't have to address it all.
Exactly.
You just don't have to. Who cares? Whether it's
Think
true or not,
about
I
when
just
you're
don't address it.
I was going to say,
Now,
I'm with you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
When we were younger,
Right.
it was just
Right.
like the biggest thing in the world.
Right.
Your
Right.
life fell
Absolutely.
apart.
I think
Well, my
about
life fell
now,
apart.
when I was in high school, no one wanted to date me. It was the weirdest thing. It wasn't about the flat top, because I didn't have a flat top then, but my hair was still a problem. But the funniest thing is there was like this rumor, this huge rumor, that I was a hoe. That I was a hoe. And it was the funniest thing because everybody dumped me because I wasn't having sex. Or I thought
They
I
thought
was
you were
getting
easy.
dumped because I was, yeah.
Why
so
is it always everybody thinks the girls with the biggest breasts or the biggest butts are hoes?
well, I did.
Right.
Yeah. I did have it.
Wow.
I know. So I'm like,
I don't know,
this
but I
isn't
had to
new.
agree.
This is new.
When I was
So
little,
the
I believed
funniest
that.
thing is that as we've gotten older, my high school has this website. So now everybody communicates on the website. So this is decades later, but I'm communicating with some people. And so somebody randomly says, oh yeah, Shayna was in the top 3 best looking women, blah, blah. And I was like, why couldn't I get a date? Like, what was the problem? I remember begging somebody to take me to the prom. And then somebody stepped up and said, well, we all thought that you've always had a boyfriend that was older and didn't go to the school. And I'm like,
Where'd that come from?
where did that come from? Well, it was apparently a rumor. It was apparently a rumor that I was dating older guys. So no one wanted to talk to me. I'm like, I went the entire time. Like, I would have definitely worked to dispel this rumor somehow, some way. I would have done all I could to try to fix it. Because when you're younger, you care.
and
Of course, you care about
Yeah,
reputation.
you do.
You really
and
do.
you know what's funny? How I would answer that question is, being an entertainer, there's been rumors about me. There's been all kinds of stuff. And you know what the thing is just like you were saying, like when you're younger, like I would probably care. I'd be quick to say, who said that? And why, But to what you said, when you know who you are, in order for me to survive in this business for 15 years, I definitely had to have a thick skin and know who you are. And I always say, knowing who you are is the greatest gift you can ever give yourself. It's the greatest gift you'll ever give yourself because you know how to navigate through things. You know how to deal with all the BS that happened to you in your 20s. that, you know, when it's, the difference is when you get into your 30s and your 40s, those things come back around, you now know how to attack all those things because you know who you are. So I somewhat, you know, I feel like we're all on the same page, you know. If you have a rumor about me, it's just like, people always say, oh, so I heard you. I was like, really? Who told you that? Oh, okay, that's cute. But, well, should I tell them? No, I don't care. Tell them whatever you want to tell them. I think it's so funny. And, you know, my best friend, there's someone that always, like, talks to him about me, knowing that we're best friends, but always is always talking about me and thinking that, you know, as if he's not going to come back and tell me. But the funny thing is he never does. He never comes back and tells me because you know what? He knows I really don't care. I don't care what they said. I don't care what the rumors are. It does not matter. It's just, and it's not even like a pompous thing. It's just you. Once you know who you are, you've been through that.
Absolutely.
You know, I feel like that's for people who are in high school.
And that's like graduating to another level. Once you really get there, oh my gosh.
Yes. It's no turning back.
And it just becomes comical. Doesn't it just become like
yeah,
pure entertainment?
Absolutely.
So basically, the people of We Speak don't care when they speak.
Right.
We
Sorry,
don't
guys.
care
We don't care when they speak.
Well, first thing we've all agreed on.
I will tell you all our opinions, but we really don't get what you think about that.
But you know, I'm sitting here and I'm listening to all of us, but I'm listening to you guys, and I'm hoping that anybody who's watching this show will know. I can tell you firsthand, these are some very dynamic people on the stage, and some of what you just said was just absolutely powerful. And knowing yourself and being able to let things roll off your back because you're at that place in your life is a beautiful thing, and all of you are there. So I hope that you viewers are watching this because it's real, and so I hope it helps you, blesses you some kind of way.
And I'll drink to that. Clink, clink, clink.
Would you end a friendship with someone if you heard negative rumors about that friend?
What?
Wow.
Say that again. If we heard rumors about that friend,
right? Well, you know, and
I'm
so happy to see you all's reaction to that. And I can tell you, yeah. Would you would you do that? Would you end? You know, if you heard rumors about a friend, would you end the relationship?
What type of rumors are we talking?
Okay. So.
But see, there's a key word in that.
Rumors or confirmed stuff.
Rumors.
Two different things. Those are two different
things.
Okay,
so because people tend to think that birds of a feather fly together.
Exactly.
We talked about, and I know I have a very close knit of friends, and we just had to kick somebody out.
Right.
Not just because of the rumors about the person, but they were true.
Yeah, that's the worst kind of rumor.
Yeah,
the true kind.
So I think we were kind of okay when we knew that the person was the way they were.
Right.
Because you love people for who they are and you accept them, flaws and all.
Yeah.
Now, when it started to trickle into all of our lives, because now everyone knows and now everyone sees us with this person, then there becomes a perception that you're like this person as well. And so then all of our husbands started to hear the rumors, and then they were having concerns whenever we all said we were going out together. It was like, oh no, everybody knows that this person does X, Y, and Z, and this, that, and you're going out with her again. So we had to sever the ties.
But you found out that the rumors were true.
We knew that they were.
You knew that they were true.
Right.
So, but see, that's different. If it's just a rumor, you know what I mean? And the thing is what I meant to say earlier when we were talking about the whole thing about what someone said about you, a rumor and all that stuff. I feel like I don't need to defend rumors simply because my friends know who I really am. You know, they know me, you know, and if they had any kind, they would come to me with the question, did you do, somebody said that you know what I mean? They would ask me and I would tell them the truth. So if I found out that that the rumor was true, depending on what the rumor was, then yeah, I would end the friendship. But just based on a rumor alone, no.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, the two words that stood out in that question for me were friends and rumor.
Yeah.
And if you're friends with someone,
it shouldn't be a rumor.
It shouldn't be a rumor because you should know your friend. I know sometimes we can be with people and not know who they are, but those were the two words that stuck out in that question: friends and rumors. And so I have this keen sense of what do you call it? The discernment.
Yes.
And I know when you're a mess. And sometimes I choose to deal with you because your mess could enhance what I'm doing. But that's a selfish,
Silly.
you know. But I'm just saying, I know you're a mess.
So when you know your friends have a secret or there's something about them that you are willing to accept when it's private, how about when that now becomes public?
Public, right.
How do you react to that? Because it's like, okay, you're a murderer or you're a pedophile, let's use that. And I'm okay with your being a pedophile because it's private and no one knows. But now that everybody knows, how am I going to feel about being associated and being okay knowing you're a pedophile?
But you decided already. You made that decision you knowingly made the decision to be
private,
that friend.
When it was private.
But you knowingly made the decision to be my friend, though. You see what I'm saying? Like, you knew who I was, and you still chose to be my friend. And I don't use the word friend lightly.
Right.
And so because you called me friend, you're my friend. And because someone else knows a deep, dark secret of mine, you shouldn't end the friendship over that. Because to me, I'm like, she was never my friend then. And we need people. We need friends. So if I was that despicable person and you knew about it in the private and then it became public and you choose not to be my friend, that would be hurtful because I'm like, you're my friend. And you knew it. So you weren't really my friend in the first place.
Well, I think that there's also a point in life that, sometimes we sort of outgrow each other. And I think you get to a point in life where what you did being friends with you may impact where I am and where I may be going. So as a friend, I'm going to tell you I have to step out of this.
But see, here's the
thing. But no, because I mean that you have to put it out there. I mean, a friend knows where you are in your life, and if you're running for public office, it's gonna be hard for you to be hanging out with that child molester. You can't do that.
Right.
You can't. You're gonna have to say you have to pick. What do you want to be in public office, or go on record as being at the club with that child molester?
But the question was not if that
it's
rumor.
a rumor.
It was a rumor.
We twisted it. We twisted it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back. Thank you. We were going to do it.
I just washed that.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
To get in the way before it happens.
To get a friend home safe.
And to not blame the victim.
It's on us.
To look out for each other.
To
not look the other way.
It's on us to stand up.
To step in.
To take responsibility.
It's on us, all of us,
to stop sexual assault. Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our episode of We Speak. We have been focusing on personality tonight, and it's been so good that we've decided to do a two-part series, ladies and gentlemen. How about that? So I can't tell you how much energy is on this stage, and we do have a lot more that we want to talk about. But we've come to the end of our show tonight, and as always, we'd like to thank you for watching. And we ask that you join us again when next we speak. Have a good night. Now, I can think, I screwed that up.
Just take it from right there.
Okay, great.